afraid if our love collides, you'll leave me alone tonight. 'Cause I'm changing and I'm breaking. Is this over? I'm scared to ask these questions, 'cause I know that you'll reject my love. Moving slow, frozen to these pieces without a down the
കൺഫേം ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റില്ല. കളി സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തു. ഓക്കെ.
I wish you could do it lefty. Left arm option. Oh, I think. Wait, he's doing it. Yeah, it's I don't know, Chinaman or option?
I'm not sure.
I think that's. Yeah, he was doing Chinaman and he was doing option.
I'll see. I don't remember.
It's Chinaman.
Who's game of Zimbabwe?
Still, this guy looks like Zimbabwe.
It is.
No, dude, this is off spin. It's not Chinaman. They just do that.
That was pretty fast. Why?
I just want to test it.
Six. One box.
Second goal lead.
Very difficult.
He's just sending him back.
Nothing set up. There is nothing set up.
Indicated figure, that's bad.
That's all.
How fast is it? I want to see how fast he was.
Not us. We are starting up. No, we have
Where's I wish Modi or someone was down there. That means he must be fast.
They're introducing him in the second over.
What drink?
He's also.
Sorry, what drink? Sajin.
Let's see.
Everything okay?
So he's like genius players, He's like genius players.
Not too fast.
Not waste.
What would they do?
Yeah.
That is Sajin.
Yeah. But when you go there, it's fast.
Sajin here. You need to make out person. This is enough. Can Cam 8 ah? Cam 8. Let me take this one first. Cam 8, I don't know. Cam 8 working with Navin. Cam 8, Cam 8.
I can connect with CS.
Cam 8 is muri poi parayam. When they went behind him, he had said, and then it went past them. Camera 8 ah? I'm telling you.
That's Maheshwari. That's Maheshwari.
I informed you just now.
Maheshwari, not that thing. I'm pretty sure. I don't know who that is. Yeah, exactly. Behind. They're almost number 6. Just I remember I had this one same thing. Yeah, I'm lucky. That's it. Who's going to slash her? My dad is doing look at this
Camera, it is from the left side or right side? Actually, I'm in the top actually. That's why. Godwin, camera 8 is not good. Godwin 8. Which one you want, Godwin? What is the winner? Godwin, what do you want? Talk in English. Godwin, talk in English. Hello, you're zooming in, right? Godwin, you're talking to me or?
Probably a dangerous fly at the moment, with the ball turning away from the right-hander. Paris looking to play against the spin. Over mid. This is an excellent start from Zimbabwe. This time over covers. Excellent shot from the captain, Paris Katka. A much more sensible option, you'd have to say. And he finds the boundary, over covers. First boundary for the captain. There you go, the first shot over mid-wicket, misses. Did that once again, and the third time, sensible, went over the offside. Caught himself 4 useful runs, rotates the strike. For the first time, brings Arif Sheikh on strike now. From the little that I've heard of Arif Sheikh, when he gets going, he can score runs at a very fair clip, and he's very, very pleasing to the eye, technically very sound as well.
Yeah, they've got a young bunch of exciting cricketers. Nepal, lots of experience, of course, playing T20 international cricket, because that's the majority of the cricket that they play. End of the third over, 10 for 1. Very, very exciting cricketers I've heard of. Looking forward to experiencing some of these young names that are upcoming in Nepal cricket. I'm pretty sure a wonderful platform for themselves, playing against a full member like Zimbabwe, to express themselves and maybe look at the benchmark that they may want to be as they continue in their careers.
You were obviously down in the center right before the start of play. Talk to us a little bit about this ground here at the Indian Association. Well, the straight boundaries certainly seem to be a lot shorter than the square boundaries.
They are, definitely. I think people need to, one, take note of that, and two, possibly take advantage of that, especially in those first 6 overs. If you get a firm bat on the ball, back past the bowler, there's easy opportunities to get some boundary. Neville Madziva to bowl the 4th over. Another young, exciting talent from Zimbabwe. Typical mould of the Zimbabwean seamers. One who doesn't have too much pace, likes to pitch the ball up. Gets the ball to swing around a little bit, nip a bit off the surface. Interesting in these conditions, a bit of humidity, how much he'll get that ball to swing early in the evening. Outside edge, past the man at slip. Ryan Pearl, valiant effort, but that's going to go for 4. Just a bit of a wave shape that we were talking about. Away from the body, Paras Katka. And those short boundaries we were talking about, once it got past that man at slip, made its way down to the 3rd man boundary pretty quickly.
There's a decent sized Nepal community here as well, so great opportunity for them to come down and look at their local stars play in Singapore.
Absolutely. Short, that'll be called wide by the umpire. He is one that likes to use the short ball quite often. Neville Madziva uses the slow ball bouncer particularly well.
It's been some sort of an all or nothing sort of approach from the Nepali batsmen so far. They're either flashing hard or they're happy defending. And in the process have lost the 1 wicket, that of the debutant Ishan Pandey. Much better, a very disciplined effort from the Zimbabweans so far. They've been right on the buzzer, all 4 of them. Interesting tactics from the captain, Sean Williams. First 4 overs have seen 4 bowlers already.
Absolutely. Interesting approach by Sean Williams. Hamilton Masakadze used a similar approach in the last tri-series in Bangladesh, where he used several different bowlers early. I think the one game in total he used 8 bowlers. So not afraid to ring the changes, and I think that's important for one Sean Williams in his capacity as captain for the first time with a young side. Give them the opportunity to express themselves. Bowling from Neville Madziva, last couple of deliveries, he's seen that those pitched up deliveries, he's going after Paras Katka. Last couple of balls, back of a length, not giving him that width outside the off stump.
Arif Sheikh on strike now. Hasn't had much of the strike, just the one delivery in the couple of overs that he's been in the center. It's the captain, Paras Katka, who's been hogging all the limelight. Arif Sheikh, very talented young batsman from Nepal. An appeal for LBW. Well, the umpire not interested. And Arif Sheikh survives another over. 4 overs completed and Nepal 16 for 1.
That must have hit the inside edge. As soon as he went up, I thought this looks good.
Very interesting to see the replay. Very quick look at the scorecard thus far. Where we're going to resume with the 5th over, and it's going to be Tendai Chatara once again from the pavilion and bowling to the captain, Paras Katka. And a swing and a miss once again. Very interesting passage of play here. And the captain is either flashing hard or he's happy defending.
Absolutely.
Hasn't been working out very well thus far, you probably have to say.
Definitely one that likes the ball pitched up. Likes to go up and over the infield. A couple of times he's tried to clear that cover area. Hasn't got himself close to the ball. Good shape away from the right-hander from Chatara. Again, nicely bowled.
And you mentioned that, it almost looks like every single Zimbabwean fast bowler is a natural outswinger, making use of the pace and the bounce, obviously, but there's a natural outswing away from the right-hander that's coming through quite well as well.
Majority of the Zimbabwean seamers are ones that take the ball away from the right-hander. Naturally, Kyle Jarvis, who's not here at the moment, does the same thing. Donald Tiripano, who's not part of this squad, is one who generally takes it away from the right-hander as well. Neville Madziva's possibly one who's got the ability to bring it back into the right-hander when the ball is still new. Cut away. Now to the man at third one. Just the single.
For everyone wanting to watch live coverage of the Singapore Tri-Nations T20I series brought to you by Instagram, my apologies. You can certainly tune into VC Sports. You can also tune into the fan code app from Dream 11 as well to give live visuals of this tournament. And needless to say, from the Singapore Cricket Association on the Facebook handle as well. There's also Willow HD TV.
Bit reckless. I think this from Nepal batters. Yes, it is the first 6 overs and you're looking to get as many boundaries especially as possible. At the same time, you need to make sure that in between that, you are getting singles, getting your twos, rotating the strike. Otherwise, you find that you're not getting those boundaries. You keep trying to hit them, create opportunities, lose wickets, and at the end of it all, you've achieved neither the boundaries that you wanted to, or kept wickets in hand for later on in the innings.
The Zimbabweans have been on the buzzer right from the get-go, and very quickly coming into this tournament, yes, the scoreboard might read just 1 win for Zimbabwe, from the recently concluded Bangladesh Tri-Series. But surely they played some better cricket than that. They pushed Bangladesh, they pushed Afghanistan, and very rightly so got that win in that final game.
Nicely played. Yeah, it was a good win, that last one. For your own information, that's the first time that Zimbabwe has beaten Afghanistan in a T20 international. That's in 8 attempts, 9 attempts. So that would have been good for them. But certainly earlier on, as we've come to the end of the 5th over, 18 for 1 now, Nepal. The first game against Bangladesh, they lost with 2 balls to spare. Again, a really good encounter. Cricketers chipping in with bat and ball, and you just didn't feel that they did that consistently enough as a unit, and that's why they didn't quite get the results they wanted. But had they won that first game against Bangladesh, who knows, they could have made that final. Unfortunately, the rain came down for the final, not a ball was bowled.
It's going to be Neville Madziva once again to resume from the far end. And it's Arif Sheikh on strike. Fantastic shot, over point. Races away to the point boundary for 4 handsome runs. Good looking shot there from Arif. And a much needed boundary for the Nepal team. Races to 22 for 1 into the 6th over. Good looking shot that.
It's a nice shot. Got the indication in the earlier over when he was trying to cut Tendai Chatara that it's an area that he likes. Typical of the shorter batsmen in international cricket. Majority of them very strong, and in particular on the offside square of the wicket.
And this is much better from the Nepal batsman. You don't want to be reckless early on in the innings, showing the bowler the respect that he deserves. Confident looking punch off the back foot to covers. Doesn't mind the odd dot ball. They'll get the runs. Definitely a fast outfield, a good batting wicket. They need to hang in there.
And just talking about the outfield, other than quick single, and that's good fielding, but I think he's going to be home comfortably. And the umpire agreeing.
For all our viewers watching live telecast of this tournament, tell us a little bit about this Zimbabwe team. Who are the men to watch out for? We obviously saw some of them play some excellent cricket in Bangladesh in the recently concluded Tri-Series. Talk to us about this new look, young side that we have.
Well, we can start with the bowlers. Definitely Tendai Chatara, who we've seen already earlier on. Short ball, he'll just get 1. Tendai Chatara, definitely one to look out for. He's been a consistent performer for Zimbabwe with the ball. Had a horrific leg injury a couple of years ago. Kept him out of the game for about a year, but has worked hard. Regained his fitness. Lost a bit of pace, but still the same consistent good bowler. Wellington Masakadza, left-arm spinner who we saw opening earlier. The younger bowlers coming in. There's Richard Ngaraba, who's not taking part in today's game. You would have seen him in international cricket before. Big left-arm bowler, takes the ball across the right-hander. There's young Tony Munyonga, all-round cricketer, off-spin bowler, decent middle to low order batsman. Had a wonderful domestic season last year in 50-over cricket. PJ Moore, who wasn't in Bangladesh for the Tri-Series, he comes back into the team for this tour.
Excellent pace on display here from Madziva. And he's getting good assistance from the pitch as well. Plenty of bounce for the bowlers. Paras Katka happy to leave that away. Yeah, back to what you were saying. Exciting prospects for the Zimbabwe future.
Richmond Mtumbami, who's got the gloves on today, taking over from Brendan Taylor, who's obviously gone back home. He's had a wonderful season back home with the bat last season, getting a recall into the national team. Half century against Bangladesh in the second game. In Chittagong, good shot.
Excellent finish to the 6th over. We come to the end of the power play with an exquisite drive by the captain, Paras Katka. Much better from the captain, you'd have to say. He played a few, missed a plenty, finally makes good contact. And the score at the end of the power play, 30 for 1, Nepal.
He definitely likes going over that extra cover area. He's tried to play that shot a couple of times. He moved on to 17 from 19, and he hasn't quite been able to get that away. But this time, good connection by Taras Katka. Zimbabwean bowlers should really be able to pick up early that that's the area that he's looking to score. Now that it's the power play done, he can block that area, make sure they possibly bowl just back of a length into the batsman, not give him the freedom to free his arms through that offside.
And he was quick to adapt. He knew that he realized that the leg side was not rewarding enough. Started to play more on the offside, giving him a couple of boundaries already in a short stint. So much better from the captain. What's going to make this series also very interesting, very intriguing is the fact that it's a battle between three very evenly balanced teams. You'd probably have to say, Tino, difficult to pick one from these three teams. Tough to predict a winner. That's going to make it interesting.
Yeah, and I have to reiterate the fact that Singapore and Nepal are very accustomed to T20 international cricket. Play a lot more of it than the Zimbabwean side. Talk about the experience, you'll have to put Zimbabwe at the top, of course. They've got seasoned cricketers who've played for a long time, even though they have a lot of youth taking part in the side. I hadn't talked about Ryan Burl. He had pretty decent tournament himself in Bangladesh. Big appeal, sliding down the leg side. Got his first half century in T20 international cricket against Bangladesh in the first encounter between the two teams in Dhaka.
He had a happy outing in Bangladesh with the bat, with the ball, contributing with the ball as well.
Absolutely. Swung away. Just be the one. Our corner.
Very impressive from Arif Sheikh so far. He's only played the 10 deliveries, looked solid, he looks confident. And he's happy playing. Against the run of play. A soft dismissal there. Looked to turn it away on the leg side. Top edge. Loop straight back to the bowler. And Wellington Mazakatsa picks one up.
Yeah, that's just stopped on the surface. Looking to punch that through the onside. Arif Sheikh, unfortunately, just gripping in the surface. Holding up a little bit. And easy return catch to Wellington Masakadza. He gets his first wicket.
Surely not the commentator's curse, Tino.
I'd have to say it's the commentator's curse. Navneet, unfortunately, Arif Sheikh, he's gone for 8 from 11. Nepal now 52 for 2.
In comes the newly appointed vice captain of the Nepal team, Dipendra Singh Airi. Well, I saw a little bit of him at the Everest Premier League late last year, Tino, and he is quite a talented all-rounder, especially with the bat, stylish as it comes. And with Gyanendra Malla, Sharat Vesavkar, Basant Regmi, some of the senior names of this Nepal team missing, very rightly so, Dipendra Singh Airi appointed as the vice captain to the Nepal side. It's going to be interesting to see how he goes about his business. Captain and vice captain in the center. Well, the Nepal fans absolutely love their cricket, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be watching this live telecast in big numbers. Hang on, is that a wicket? They're appealing, I'm not too sure for what. Was that an LBW appeal?
No, I think it's an appeal for the catch, which is why Ryan Burl is not happy with the umpires. He'll definitely feel that he's taken this one comfortably, and he has. I don't understand why this hasn't been given out. That's extraordinary.
It was very hard to make out if that came off the bat, you know. going to be very interesting if we can get another look at that replay once again. 7 overs completed, 33 for 2. We'll try coming back to you with a replay of that appeal once again. All right, for the very first time, we have Ryan Burl from the far end bowling some leg spin. He had a very impressive outing in Bangladesh. Will certainly be full of confidence. Swept well by Dipendra Singh Airi, and rightly so, gets himself 4 handsome runs there. Excellent looking shot. He loves playing the sweep shot, does Dipendra Singh Airi. Short in length. And he puts it away comfortably on the leg side.
He's put that away nicely. Ryan Burl did bowl a few overs in Bangladesh. The problem that he had, especially coming on in his first over, was the fact that he bowled too short. Again, another short delivery. When you're playing against the top players that they came against,
leg by signalled.
Bangladesh and the Afghanistan batsmen,
A little bit
put him away with
surprised they've already
ease.
made that change.
But expensive. This is something that he's got to work on, I think.
I wouldn't say
Length
surprised.
right when he first comes on to bowl, Ryan Burl.
He was shot on the second ball as well, but my God, did he turn.
Sandeep Lamichhane.
Spun a mile.
He's also just seen PJ Moore getting after the spinners, striking the ball well.
Short again in the air.
From Lamichhane like we did
And
earlier
gone.
in the bowl
That's a
in
good
the last
catch.
game, so
From Wellington Masakadza running in from the cow corner boundary.
hold him back for
Paras
later on
Katka will
in
be
the innings.
disappointed because this is really short. And an opportunity to score, but I think it's just held on the surface and turned again. Like you were talking about the previous delivery, and that's a really smart catch from Wellington Masakadza.
Well, he was living pretty dangerously, was the captain, Paras Katka. Not the kind of shot that he would want to get himself out in, but excellent outfield catch there by Zimbabwe. Gets them their 3rd wicket, and 38 for 3 now, and it's advantage Zimbabwe. Ryan Burl will be very lucky
Work out for him.
getting himself a wicket, and that too of the captain, on what he would consider as an absolute rank long hop.
Slower ball.
And mind you, if there's anyone who would be watching this very closely, Tino, it's going to be Sandeep Lamichhane. He's going to be licking his lips. He can spin it a mile.
Bounced so high and gone over that leg stump.
He certainly will.
Played the shot a
What
couple of times
surprised
the
me
other
at the
night,
toss,
register cover.
when Sean Williams said that
Gets
he
it
would have
right.
bowled
Gets value for his shots.
regardless as well. Now it's a very dry surface.
Couple of
We
balls down,
expected
leg
the ball
side
to grip
already.
and turn, and I'm pretty sure because there's no grass on the surface,
Pace bowler out there.
it's going to have quite a bit of rough created, even though it's just a 40-over game. And later on, as you say, Lamichhane is possibly going to be getting the ball to turn a fair bit as well.
What are they aiming for? If you've talked to the boys,
An
over the
important
last
wicket
few days, how's
for
it-
Zimbabwe nonetheless.
Well, obviously,
38 for 3.
disappointed bunch after the performance the other
Nepal.
evening. If you look at the first game against Nepal as well, it took a massive partnership at the end between Burl and Tumbami to get them across the line. So Sean
We saw
Williams
one
has made his
debutant
intentions
open the
pretty
innings
clear
for
in the
Nepal.
last couple of games that he was
Guess
happy
what?
to chase.
Kushal Malla is also
To bowl
debuting for
first
Nepal in this
both
game,
of those
Tino.
first 2 encounters for Zimbabwe.
So
They've been
exciting.
looking to get a big score on the board. They would have seen the other
Just
night
in
when,
terms of the future of
Nepal
Nepal
chased
cricket, they have
150 in just 16
fantastic
overs
talent
against
coming through the
Singapore.
ranks.
Paras Khadka, that wonderful
Churning out a lot of
6 in
cricketers.
just 52 balls.
That's really
You
important
see
for
how they were going the
any
other
developing
night
country.
until they threw it away.
Oh,
So they know they
big
will
shot. Not
need
smart.
a decent total on the board. 181.
End of the
That
eighth,
was only
38 for
18
3.
overs, not in 20. So I'm pretty sure they've said to themselves, listen here guys, batting first, new surface, we need to make sure we can get ourselves 190 plus here.
the way, just getting news that Bima Pandare, the Nepal keeper, has got a slight hamstring strain, so he's not moving particularly well. Just keep an eye out for him in this final ball.
8 overs completed. Nepal 38 for 3.
Nearly snuck in
Probably
there.
have to say
He's
it's
very
advantage
lucky, Regis, to
Zimbabwe
cover
at
to
the
get
moment,
back onto that
with
and
2
get it
overs
past
left
the
for the
man at
halfway mark.
45 for 4.
3 crucial wickets.
So
And that to that of the captain is going
ends
to
off
be
well the over. Another good one for Zimbabwe. 3 gone, 29 for 1.
Another new bowler, Tino Mtombodzi, another leg spinner. Amazing how many young leg spinners are coming out of Zimbabwe. Timson Maruma, when he started his career, actually came onto the scene more as a leg spin bowler with a really good googly as opposed to a batter. Now, obviously, picked for his exploits with the bat first. But they're roughly about the same age. There's another one, Matsaim Shangwe, who's represented Zimbabwe as well. All in the same age group. It's rather surprising to find so many young leg spinners sprouting out at Zimbabwe at that time, when in particular, there weren't very many others in the country in the national team. Graham Creamer, of course, will be the last world-class leg spinner you could refer to from Zimbabwe.
It almost feels like there's something in the pitch for everybody. For the leg spinner,
How's
the
it
off
feeling?
spinner,
Is
the
the way
medium
to go
pacers
right now?
as well.
No, it wasn't so good last over, was it?
We saw
Yeah,
plenty
I'm
of bounce,
pretty
space
sure
and
Paris
swing
Katka
for
has decided
fast
to take
bowlers,
spinners off
and
after
obviously
that devastating
plenty of
second
spin
over.
on
So
offer
PJ
as well for
Moore
the spinners.
took to the spinners 15
And even
wickets.
from the batsman's
After just one
perspective,
run
if
in
they
the
hang
first
in there,
over,
they certainly can play through the line.
bowled by
And there is
Zimbabwe
value for the
Chani.
shots as well. All in all, a good pitch, you'd have to say.
So ball coming up now.
Cut away.
What did you make of the wicket today?
Just be the one to the man on the
definitely
extra
looks
cover boundary. Yeah, the
A
seam
lot
has
drier
exclusively
than
got
what
the
we've
ball
had
to
in the
come onto the
last-
bat.
in the first game between these
Good
two
bounce
teams.
when
That's
Neville
because
Madziva
obviously,
tried to
we've
bowl
had
the
3
shorter
games in a
balls.
row, and that was on the pitch next to that.
The
number
real
2, this
concern
number
is just
1.
how much will it be turning
It just looks
in
like
that
a
second
surface.
innings.
Again, no grass.
We talk about T20 pitches being more batsman friendly and not doing too much with the ball and not changing so much because it's such a short game.
Single. Nicely
But,
done.
definitely, I think some concern in terms of the ball turning off the surface. Good effort from Tendai Chatara. Definitely saving
Chance
a
to go
couple of
look at
runs
the pitch
for
fine,
Zimbabwe
like he
there.
always does
What's
before
interesting
every
to note
match.
is both the spinners
inspection for
and the
us.
medium pacers
They're very similar.
have
what
decided
they
to go
did
short
today.
rather
Those
than
cracks
full.
show you
Could
just
that
how
also
dry
be
the
because
surface
of the very short straight
No
boundaries
grass.
as well? Because you
Just
don't
looks
want to
to
be
me,
bowling full and giving
looking
easy
at too much
opportunities
turn from
for the
this
batsman
either.
to play straight.
It's a real good batting surface. We know that
I'd have
teams
to
like
agree with that. Those dimensions is something that all the
That
teams so
second,
far
yeah.
have been talking about.
Chase,
End
like
of the
what's happened
9th
in the
over,
last couple of
41 for
games.
3 Nepal. And that's definitely something that would be in
Appeal
the
in that
back of the
last
bowler's
delivery,
mind.
not given.
If they're going to get boundaries, rather let them get those boundaries square of the wicket, where you've got a bit more protection in terms of
So far,
distance to the boundary.
decent line of length.
Because even if you've got the long on and the long
It's
off
causing the batsman too much trouble, but
back on the boundary,
you want to
the
keep
batsman
that.
backs himself and gets a good connection, he can clear the boundary comfortably.
Just a little bit about this Nepal team.
Gone for the big swipe and he pays the price there.
The average Premier League as
Chakabha
well. They have
head.
this tendency to
And
produce
they've got the second
quite
wicket.
literally a factory of spinners, especially
I don't know if he
left-arm
has to go
spinners.
across the line here.
Having said
Mid
that, they
on
have.
and mid off are
I'll
both
come back
in
to
the
you right after
circle.
this delivery. A
All
Ryan
you
Ball
need
to
to do
continue from the
is
far
get
end.
good bat on it, and it's going over
Adventurous.
those guys with
Very
a minimum of
adventurous.
fuss. Yes, go
And
over the top,
value
but
for money,
not
no
across the
fielder
line.
there,
Might be
gets himself
disappointing
4 runs.
for,
Excellent
the
shot from the
Zimbabwean
vice
changing
captain,
the manner in
Deependra
which
Singh Ivy
that
there.
Richard
Another
Chakabha
look
has
at
gone.
it. Turns around for the
3.4
switch
overs
hit,
in
makes
Zimbabwe
good
now, 30 for
contact.
2.
Nobody in the boundary line, 1 bounce over the boundary. 4 valuable runs into the 40s.
Good comeback from Ryan Burl.
Coming back to what I was saying, Tino, especially the Nepal team, they have fantastic bowlers coming through the ranks, spinners and pacers as well. But it's the batting department that probably needs a little more application then. He tries that again, and guess what? 4 more. Very, very interesting tactics here from Dipendra Singh Airi. Another switch hit, another boundary, and this is going to make the captain think, will Sean Williams change his field? 2 switch hits have resulted in 2 boundaries.
Well, that's obviously a shot that he plays well. One before this, he went up and over that man at backward point.
Zimbabwe
This time,
captain Sean
along
Williams
the ground.
is in.
Value for his shots. And this time,
For the match.
he plays the conventional sweep. And that's gone for 4 as well. So Ryan Burl just taking a bit of
Nice
stick
dismissal.
here.
The line.
But definitely doesn't mind playing the crossbat shots to the spinners. Played the reverse twice. This time, conventional sweep. Nobody back at deep backward square.
He'll be disappointed.
Gets another
Good
boundary.
in the last game. Regis Chakava.
Yeah, Dipendra Singh Airi looking very, very confident. 20 of just 13 deliveries. He got off the mark with a confident-looking sweep shot. And with 3 boundaries in this over, he's making Sean Williams and Ryan Burl
Really good second over
think
from him.
and think they need to
From it,
think
one
fast
wicket,
because
that of Regis Chakava. Zimbabwe now 30 for 2.
much better. Just the single on this occasion. And it's already 13 off this over with 1 delivery left. It's the batting department that Nepal have struggled in the recent past. They seem to have plenty of options with the ball. And it's opportunities like this, in tournaments like this, that give the batsmen enough to do and give the confidence to the bowlers that we can do it with the bat as well.
Been a mixed bag here at the Singapore Indian Association in these first 4 overs. A couple of 2
Off the
very
back
good overs
foot.
for each side. 30 for 2. we
To
are.
the sweeper cover fielder, just 1 off the last ball, right at the halfway
Lamichay.
mark. 10 overs completed. Nepal
Who's made that
55
appeal?
for
It's a
3.
pretty strong one. Did that seem like a stronger appeal than the previous one?
That certainly looked more out to me than the one of Brian Chari, but it has turned into the batsman slightly. And the umpire possibly just thinking that that's going to be going past the leg stump. Big appeal. Looked very nervous, PJ Moore.
Well, that
Sean Williams. Big hit.
that
Big
makes it
hit.
all the way.
Has that cleared the boundary line? There's 2 fielders there. Wicket number 4 for Zimbabwe.
He's comfortable for
Excellent
them,
catch
isn't he?
in the deep.
The ball is pitched up from the
They've
spinners.
taken their
PJ Moore is
catches,
going
and
to go
this
for
time
it.
it was
There's a
Wellington
man
as a
back or
catcher,
not.
not making any
He's
mistake.
got
Kushal Malla.
long arms, big levers.
That was the long side
and,
of
he
the
takes
ground.
advantage of
He
that.
had to
So
connect
36
well
for
to
2
clear
now.
the boundary.
Zimbabwe,
Couldn't do that on
he
this
won't stop.
occasion.
And
And
that
it's
ball is
wicket
pitched
number
up.
4 right at the halfway mark for Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe continue to dominate the little that we've seen in match number 1
last 6 he got
of the Singapore
was,
Tri-Nations
clean
T20I,
hit,
brought to
of
you
the
by
3 boundaries
Instagram.
that he's scored so far. He's going for a shot.
He is indeed. And like I said, Zimbabwe would have seen that all 3 teams winning here. They've seen that in the second part of the game. It's very, very difficult to defend scores here. PJ Moore wasn't in the Zimbabwean side that toured Bangladesh prior to this. He's got a point to prove.
Nice ball there from Lamichay and Sean Williams.
It's going to be Sandeep Jora, the new batsman for
taste of
Nepal, 55 for 4 into the 11th over. Captain Sean Williams picks up a wicket in his
I
first
think this is gonna
delivery
turn
in
out
his
to be a
second
rather
over.
interesting match.
The left-handed Kushal Malla was hoping to clear the deep mid-wicket region.
Nicely played by
Only to
Sean
find
Williams. The key for
Wellington
me
Mazakatsa,
is
excellent
the
catch.
manner in which they play this man, Lamichay.
Another sweep.
Paras brought him on to open the bowling in the last
Thankfully,
game
no
because he needed
fielder
early
there.
wickets, got those early
And
wickets and
Sandeep
pegged
Jora
Zimbabwe back
starts off
28
with 2 runs.
for 4 at one stage. After having a whirlwind start.
Zimbabwe have been right on the buzzer with the ball in
Ryan Cherry
hand, and
was
they've been
looking good.
excellent on the field as
The
well.
manner in which Zimbabwe play this guy is what's
And
going to
they've
be
been
important.
rewarded
Singapore
with
made
4
sure he
wickets,
didn't get wickets.
57 for 4 now into the 11th
Bowled
over.
him! Brilliant!
He's been the standout.
Absolutely
for Nepal,
brilliant.
as they
It's the
paint this
googly. And he's
Switch it once again.
brought him forward, PJ Moore. Gap between bat and pad.
Very
And that's all
fortunate
he
on this
needed,
occasion.
Sandeep
He
Lamichhane.
missed. Couldn't
We're
make
talking
contact
about
with
it's
the ball.
important about how Zimbabwe play him.
Manages to get off
This
strike.
time he's gone for the forward
That
defensive
brings
PJ Moore.
Sandeep
And the
Jora
ball sneaking through that
on
gap.
strike for the first
5
time.
overs gone.
It
Zimbabwe
looked like he was
38
trying to
for
go
3.
up and over again, and possibly just lifted the head. Didn't keep his eyes on the ball for as long as he possibly could have. And that's probably why he didn't get bat onto ball. Sandeep Jora at the crease. Wonderfully bowled by Sean Williams. Has that ability to get the ball to turn, whether he's given it air or not, and that's what makes him so difficult to face sometimes. And then he's got one that slides onto the bat as well. Sandeep Jora made his debut for Nepal earlier this year against
Krishna.
UAE.
Thank you, Shazad.
Certainly can hit
Great
the ball a
delivery
long
from
way,
Sandeep
and they will
Lamichhane
need him to
get
bat
rid of
right
the
up till the
dangerous
very
PJ
end
Moore.
if Nepal will have to put up a competitive
Been
total,
brilliant
because
tonight.
right now
Got the
it
opening
certainly
wicket.
is Zimbabwe
He's come back.
with the advantage.
Already the danger
Coming to the
man.
end of the 11th over,
Zimbabwe
59 for
38
4
3
now.
After 5. And good to have Nav in the studio as well, joining me.
And
Good
barring
evening, Nav.
deep Dipendra
Very
Singh
good
Ivy's
evening, Adrian.
innings,
You
Nepal
probably
has
have to
been
say
pretty
that
ordinary
it's
with the
Nepal
bats
that
this
have drawn
evening.
first blood here in the first 5 overs, 38 for 3. Fantastic strike there from Sean Williams, and he's well
This
on
is
his way.
better.
A good-looking
This is
cover
much
drive,
better.
fine
When they're not
lower
able to get
before the
the
power
boundaries
play
that they're
comes to
looking
an
for,
end.
make
And
sure
he's
that you
taking
get
full
yourself to the other
advantage
side.
with
Those
an
singles
offer,
count.
and he was happy to find the gap on the offside.
Into the
Through
11th,
covers,
60 for
races
4.
away.
Has
Very
a big
quick
job
look once
to
again
do
at the
tonight, this
scorecard
Sean
for
Williams.
Nepal. Debutant
Has to
Ishan
lead from the
Pandey could
front.
only manage the 4 runs. Flashed hard at the
Rebuild.
ball outside off stump. Unfortunately,
Needs a
went down the
partnership
throat
here,
of third
Zimbabwe.
man. Captain Paras Kadka
It's
flashed
been a
at
terrific
one too
start by
many.
Nepal, though. I mean, we saw how good they
Was
were with the
lucky
ball
enough to get 18
last
runs.
time these two sides played,
Arif Sheikh
and
looked
how
pretty
effective
decent
Sandeep
for his
Lamichhane
age.
was.
An
And
excellent
he's proving
catch by
once more
Wellington
how
Mazakatsa.
dangerous he is with the ball.
And Dipendra Singh Iyer, well, he's been the standout for Nepal. 25 of 17. He's been sweeping and sweeping comfortably.
It was possibly the best bowler we've seen in
It's going to be
all
on strike
of the Singapore
over
Tri-Nations
number
from Sandeep
11.
Lamichhane to get
And
rid
it's
of
going to be Wellington
Peter Moore there.
Mazakatsa to continue for the first
We're
time
watching
from
a
the far end.
genius at work, ladies and gentlemen. Sandeep
Good figures so
Lamichhane
far. 7 for 1 in
finding
the
the
2 overs
gap
that he's
between
bowled.
bat and pad, clipping the bails. Sheer artistry this from Sandeep Lamichhane. What a talent he is. And that certainly has pegged Zimbabwe on the back foot.
Down the track.
Prevent covers once again. This time finds the fielder.
They
You
pitch a
only saw
single.
the captain Sean again, Adrian.
It's a very
That was
good bowling
we
from the
see that he
Zimbabwean
has
spinner
quite
Sean
the
Williams, the
responsibility
captain
to
from the pavilion, and then
the
now
previous
Mazakatsa
side.
from the far end.
Needs
They've
a
been very
partnership here.
disciplined
With,
there in and
Mutumbutsi.
thereabouts at the off-stump mark, so you want to
His
make the
captain needs
batsman
about there in the
play.
middle.
Any
Stick
mistake from the
around.
batsman,
We've seen some great partnerships in this Tri-Nation series so far. And he needs one here.
Talking about the Zimbabwean spinners and doing well, the left-arm spinners in particular. Wellington Mazakatsa, very adept in this version of the game, gets through his overs quickly.
That's too cheeky from Sean. You don't want to be running for that. That
Quite often
certainly would
gets
have
the
been
batsman
curtains
to
and
hit the
wicket
ball
number
where
4.
he wants him to.
Mutumbutsi doing
Means
the
a
right
lot
thing
less
by
in terms
telling
of
the captain,
boundaries.
hang in there,
Again,
buddy.
just holding in the surface. And work from the captain
Very
Sean
disciplined
Williams at
effort
cover.
from Sompal Kami this evening
But
into
before
a
you
second
know it,
over.
he bowled 4 or 5 balls in the over.
Got the
You
wicket
guys
of
haven't got a
Regis
boundary.
Takabwa on what was
Couple
a
of
very
singles.
unnecessary shot
And quite
in the
often,
context of the
because of that,
situation.
creates pressure for the batsman, and often the
He's
other
kept
end
his
is where
line,
the
his
wickets come
length.
from.
Worked well for him so far.
Been brilliant. Set him up perfectly. It was a nothing shot from Chakabva. Big appeal. Nothing given.
An optimistic appeal, you'd probably have to say. That was certainly drifting down the leg side. Take another look at this. Actually, on second thoughts, possibly a little closer than I thought it was.
I was just going to say that. Looks, at first glance, it didn't look that it was going to crash in, but I guess with ball tracking and other technologies, maybe.
We're into the
maybe
12th
better
over, just one delivery
insight
left in
into
the 12th
delivery.
over, 63 for 4
So
Nepal.
Palkami comes in for the last ball of his over.
Short ball, a miss from the keeper.
Sean Williams
And
happy
they're
to tuck
lucky
away
enough to
the
get 4
last
runs,
ball of the
Nepal.
power play
We
just for
come
a
to the
single,
end of
and
the
it
12th over.
comes to the end of
And
6
Nepal
overs with Zimbabwe
lucky enough to get 4
43
runs
for
there,
3.
67 for 4. With Dipendra Singh Airi batting on 27. They still have Karan Casey in the ranks, and he can talk it, mind you. He can certainly hit the long ball. And we saw him do plenty of that in the Everest Premier League late last year. Karan Casey can strike it at a good rate, and he's very valuable with the ball in hand as well. So he's certainly one of the all-rounders to watch out for. And in the second half of the innings, Karan Casey will certainly be itching to get out to the centre. But they still have to contend with Sean Williams and Mazakatsa, who've been bowling some fantastic overs of spin.
Low down the game. Low down the game. In chance 17, keep low down. Little bit more.
Back live once more. Zimbabwe 43 for 3 after 6 overs. End of the power play as Avinash Bahara comes into the attack.
Nepal will be hoping that Dipendra Singh can bat through these next few overs. Gone down for the sweep shot again. Quicker delivery from
Be careful when you're playing Avinash Bora.
Sean Williams, and
Obviously,
really was
staying in
just a
action is
case
lot
of
faster
helping
than you
that
think
ball on
he
its
is.
way. Sandeep Jora.
Very nippy
Sean
off
Williams
the
looking
pitch.
to fire this one
And
in.
watch out for those toe
Looked like he had
crushers
already
because he
decided he was
loves
going to play the
bowling
sweep
those
shot.
Yorkers.
Inside the line of the ball and just help that on its way to the boundary.
There's been some assistance for the pace bowlers tonight. I mean, we
That's
haven't
the
seen
5th
much of
boundary
it
he's
this
got
series.
himself by playing the sweet shot.
Really getting some assistance off the pitch.
Really has been a
Not much,
Dipendra Singh
as
Airi show
Magician Sandeep
all through this
Lamichhane.
evening for Nepal. Sean Williams
Been the
has
Lamichhane
been
factor once
happy
again,
to pretty
Adrian.
much
It was
bowl
the
it there
Lamichhane
and
factor
thereabouts
4 nights
at the
ago
off
on
stump
opening day here
line,
in Singapore.
and
he
he's
was all
hoping that
over
the
the
batsman commits
Zimbabweans.
the mistake.
And guess what? It looks like it's a repeat in the little that we've seen so far. 2 fantastic wickets. One you'd probably have to say
I think the case has been for
the second one, an absolute peach to get to
the Zimbabwean bowlers, the fact
What a
of just
great
getting the
story
ball in the
Sandeep
right area,
Lamichhane
because
is.
the batsmen are
Plays his
trying to
cricket
get
all over the
boundaries.
world
You'll be disappointed with that one. Wellington
Stars in
Masakadza.
Australia, the Delhi Capitals. in
He's
the
normally
IPL.
got
Now he's here
really good hands.
representing his country.
And that there was an
Nations
opportunity for
tournament here
Zimbabwe
in
to get
Singapore.
another wicket. Just as I was talking about the fact that they just kept the ball in the right area for long enough.
Not to
Nepal
forget the
batsmen
Barbados
are looking
Tridents
to
very
get after
recently
them.
in the Caribbean Premier
Once
League.
you bowl 2 or 3 dots in
Very,
over,
very
you know
big
that
figure
something
in the Everest Premier League back in Nepal
bound
as
to
well.
give from the Nepal
The
batsman.
man loves his
An
T20
opportunity
cricket.
there to get the 5th wicket. They'll be disappointed.
Plenty of action that we've seen in the
Zimbabwe.
little over 6 overs that we've seen today. Plenty of action on Twitter as well.
That
Good
was
to
exactly
see.
what happened on this occasion. A couple of dot balls, and Sandeep Jora was looking for that
Engagement on the
expansive
social
shot.
media handles as well as Sean Williams drives one
Unfortunately,
comfortably
Sean
down
Williams
the
not
ground.
getting the kind of support that he would
As
have
always,
liked.
happy to take questions from folks around the world tuning in. Happy to read out some of the best
Wellington
tweets as
Mazakatsa
well.
should have
So you
taken
want
that,
to be
and that
doing
should have been wicket
hashtag
number 5
Singapore
for
Tri
Zimbabwe.
Nation
13
and
overs
hashtag
completed, 7 to
Nepal
go.
versus Zimbabwe.
Nepal
NEP
74 for 4.
versus VSZIM. Leave your tweets, questions, comments.
So there's
We'd
obviously
love to read them out.
It's
been an entertaining evening so far here in Singapore.
Talented all-rounder, a spinning sensation.
Very difficult
Sandeep
to
Lamichhane.
read this pitch like Paris
And
mentioned
you
at the
certainly
toss.
want to watch out for
It's a
Avinash
completely
Bora.
different pitch to what we saw the other night. Big scores. Then again, we've just come to the end of the power play. They need a partnership, build an innings. Sean Williams, the captain, brilliant last night. But was the case, he just ran out of partners.
Drifting down the left, way onto the steep square leg boundary, easily by Mutambotsi, just a single though. 7 overs completed, 47 for 3.
Wellington Masakadza to bowl his fourth and final over. He's been pretty decent. 1 for 14 are his figures.
What do you reckon is a decent total on this pitch, having seen 13 overs off it, Tino? Around the 130 mark,
We've already seen a few
mark,
tweets coming in about Avinash
Yeah,
Bora.
we've
We
talked
know he's a
about
talented bowler.
straight
Vikash
boundaries were
Thapa
short.
says Avinash has been
So
doing
you
great
would like
work
to
at the bat.
believe
Still feel he's
that
not
he'll be
utilised
able to
well enough
defend
by
a
the
lot
captain.
more
I
than
hope
that.
to see him
I
completing
don't
his 4
think that
overs.
Nepal have gone
Getting
about
a few
this in
comments, similar comments from quite a few folks.
best
and
manner they could have.
Probably rightly
Yes,
so,
it's
because
important to
Avinash
try and get
has
good
been
start.
economical in the little that
As
we've
much
seen
as you're
so
trying
far
to do
off
that,
him.
you need to make
But
sure
he
that if you're not
hasn't
getting
completed
those
his quota.
boundaries, you're still rotating some strike. They didn't do that, and it's been a bit of a hit or miss scenario for
Interesting
their
to see if
batsmen.
Paras actually goes through with
150 for me on a
Avinash
surface
for the
like
4
this.
overs today.
I definitely
Yeah, it
think
will be, but we've talked a lot
not
about
enough.
Sandeep Lamachane, but how
To be
about
honest, they'll
Sompal
need to
Kami?
play
How good
well
has he
from
been
here to
today?
get that 130
Picking up
as
that
well.
crucial
Absolutely.
wicket,
I think if you
economical.
look at the Zimbabwean
Only
batting
conceded
lineup
6 runs.
and some of the
Two
cricket that
overs
we
so
saw
far.
from them in the
He's
last
getting that
couple of
line
weeks in
and length
Bangladesh, they'll want to
on
get at
point
least
tonight as well.
170,
Brilliant.
180 to be able to defend that. However, the surface does look like it will assist the
Sompal
spinners,
Kami
and
is
we
gonna
know
do
how
that all over
good their
again.
spinners are. Lamichhane in particular, we've talked
It is a
about
little
him.
bit humid. Certainly is a little humid
I think
today.
here, if they want to
but
give
good
themselves a chance,
conditions for a game of
150
cricket.
must be a bare minimum.
Yeah, I was just outside a little while earlier. Quite pleasant.
Very disciplined effort from the 2 left-arm spinners from Zimbabwe, Wellington Masakadza and the captain.
Almost felt like that was the action replay of the Regis Chakabwa delivery. You don't want to be playing cross the line. Sompal Kami is quite nippy off the pitch, so it comes in a lot faster.
And now it's the 2
Batsmen
batsmen, the
beaten
2
for pace.
Nepali
They're playing
batsmen are
down
trying
the
to
wrong
force
line
the
as
issue
well.
because they're running out of time.
I think Mutimbodzi
Very
just getting a
smart
bit
from
frustrated
Sean
with
Williams
himself.
This time he has the fielder
Not able
placed
to
exactly for that shot
get
from
to the other
defending
end.
ID. Just the one on this occasion. 14
Give his
overs
captain
completed
strike,
and
but
Nepal are 79 for 4.
You're right, we don't want to see a repeat of what happened to Chakabva. Zimbabwe are in trouble. They don't want to make things worse.
Very disciplined effort by the Nepali bowlers today. Sean for a second probably thought that was rolling onto his stumps.
All right, with just 6 overs left in the
But you're
first.
coming back to the Nepali bowlers. Sompal Kami,
Time for a little
Sandeep
change
Lamachhane,
in the
Avinash
commentary
Bora.
box.
They've all been
It's time to
very
get
disciplined,
the batting
not
coach
giving
of
too
the
many
Zimbabwe
extras
team,
away.
Stuart
Fielding's
Mansakaneri,
been on par as well.
and Tino's going to be talking to him to
Very
get a
good
little
team
sense
effort by the
about
Nepali players
this
today.
young
The
and
captain hasn't
talented
brought himself
Zimbabwean
up to the
team.
leader, so
Stuart,
we still have
welcome
to
to
wait for that.
Singapore.
We
Thank
see-
you so much. Tino,
see
over
what
to
he
you.
can do with the
Thank you.
bat the other night.
Navneet.
Explosive innings.
We haven't seen Karan Casey as well.
We haven't
We
seen
start
Karan Casey
the
as well, but
15th over.
they just have so many options.
79 for 4. Nepal.
And as a result of the loss of the early wickets for Zimbabwe, Captain Sean Williams will have to lead the rebuilding phase here. And it hasn't been easy. Runs
Stu,
have been hard to
thank
come
you very
by.
much for
We're into the 8th
joining us.
over.
First of all, how's been your stay in Singapore?
Touch under 50, the score at the
Yeah,
moment.
thanks for having me,
49 for
Tino.
3,
No,
so
Singapore has been good.
obviously,
We've been
from how the other games have gone about, we've been seeing runs. In fact, the last game we saw.
the welcome here
European
has been
runs
really
being scored
good.
from
The
56.
Singapore guys are really looking
This is
after
the
us,
first
so
time
we've
Zimbabwe are
enjoyed it
batting
so far.
first
And
this
obviously,
tournament.
to start off now, to get going with the cricket is even better.
Obviously, coming from the tour of
Big
Bangladesh,
appeal.
where registered a win in the last game against Afghanistan. We see that sweep shot being employed
We take
again.
another look
by,
at this delivery by Sompal Kami.
The batsman from Nepal, Jora, gets another boundary. Just talk to us a little bit about the team. Obviously, senior guns have gone home, the majority of them, and a lot of the youth, and
Economical.
it's mixing with the experience. Your thoughts on some of those younger players coming into the side and their contribution?
Looks like we have some time for some.
Yeah, obviously, with where we are at this stage, the next big
Unlike
thing
2
for,
nights ago,
for
when it was raining
Zimbabwe
sixes and
in the
boundaries
future
all
is
along.
obviously the 2023 World Cup. So
Very
with a
nicely
view of
clipped off
building
his
up to
pads,
that, the
just a
selectors have
single though.
decided to go with a much younger group of players. So the idea is to have them play as much, to get them exposed as much as
Zimbabwe
possible,
50
that they
for
learn
3.
their lessons right now, and then in the next couple of years, we're looking to have a really strong international side out.
yeah, of course, Zimbabwe will be missing out on the World T20 qualifiers, but as you say, really important for the team to build towards that next World Cup. Obviously, you're in charge of the
Dipendra Thapa says, recognizing the batting performance of Nepal in the last match, especially from Captain Paras, Nepal needs a round of about 180
like you
for a
say,
competitive match
my
today.
job is mainly with the batting. And yes, we do have some exciting talent.
Zimbabwe will have to score that much.
That is on show today. Like Brian Chari is just playing his first T20 international today. So a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to. We've got young Tony Munyonga who's also in the side as an all-rounder.
Big heave.
He's got quite a lot to offer with the bat.
Deep square leg, just a single
obviously
though.
in the last tour of
Casey.
Bangladesh, you would have got to see Tino Mtombodzi and Timisen Maruma making a comeback, young in as far as games are concerned.
Just slowed down.
Yeah, so the future is looking really good. Obviously, Brian Bowe played really well in Bangladesh. Looking for more performances from him, but yeah, we've got a lot of exciting guys coming up.
Thanks, Shui. 15 overs gone, 88 for 4.
Good looking cover drive that from the captain. Sean Williams is aesthetically very pleasing to the eye. There's always our left-handed batsman, Adrian. We all know that, and Sean is one on that list, right?
Yes, he's a great batsman to watch. I mean, some of the ones that come straight into mind from watching loads of cricket. Shikhar Dhawan, brilliant, explosive batsman. Rishabh Pant, for example. There's David Warner. There's just something about a left-hander and a cover drive.
So, beginning of the 16th over, Nepal,
Zinaj is
88
out for a
for
single.
4. I'm joined in the commentary box by former Zimbabwe international Stuart Matsikinyeri,
quite frustrated with himself.
Looking after the batting department for the Zimbabwe team.
Few attempts
You made mention
big
just now
heaves.
about Ryan Burl. Obviously had a pretty impressive tour of Bangladesh, his first half century.
He's got nothing to show for it so far.
T20 international cricket. We've lost the services of Hamilton Masakadza coming to the end of his career on this last tour, but a few other batsmen who you'll feel will be able to replace the likes of
We'll go for
Hamilton
4.
in the middle order. Ryan Burl, you talked about. Richmond Mutumbani, he had a really good season last year domestically. Coming in, he got a half century there as well. Sinotenda Mtombodzi, who had a really good partnership with Ryan Burl in one of the games there, all showing that they can make the step up to international cricket. And
the scoreboard ticking.
It looks bright in terms of
Zimbabwe needed that.
top to middle order batsmen who can do
Singles
the job for Zimbabwe.
just weren't cutting it for them. Nepal have been economical. This might just be the opening.
Tino, like you said, there.
Shot and pulls it away. Much needed boundary for Zimbabwe.
Stokes in as far as middle order.
Fantastic pull shot from Tino Mutumbodzi.
Guys that have already
It was short,
been
it was
exposed
quick.
at some level.
And
but
Mutumbodzi
obviously
was up
with
to the
Hamilton leaving the international game, as well as Solomon Mire,
to the right of the deep square leg fielder, and he gets himself
who
forward.
retired during our tour of
boundaries from
Europe. It has left quite a gap at the top. So this is where we now, as a betting department, we've got to work hard to get some openers coming up.
In the air and a good catch.
Wants to finish well here.
From Regis Chakaba eventually. So Zimbabwe get another wicket.
Decent finish for Karan Casey, and we come to the end of 9 overs with Zimbabwe 62 for 3.
Getting onto the batsman rather quickly. All he managed to do was just get the top edge. Regis Chakaba taking a decent catch in the end. So another wicket falls for Nepal. The 5th one, that is. 89 for 5 now.
Back live now as we see another bowling change. Pawan Saraf coming to bowl a little bit of spin.
His first game in the Singapore Tri-Nations T20I is playing in place of Ishan Pandey, the left-handed opening batsman.
89-5.
It's going to be interesting to see how he goes about his business, Pawan Saraf.
His first wicket of the day.
The tactic probably is to spin it away from the left-handed Sean Williams.
Cut away.
Entice him to play against
single.
the spin.
Brilliant cover drive there.
Stewie, you were talking to us about replacements for the top order batsman.
Never gets old.
Yeah, I was saying with Hamilton and Solimire having left the international game, we now have to. There's some opportunities there for guys to step up. So obviously on this tour we've got Brian Chari.
Down the track comes Sean Williams
for Zimbabwe at Test level,
and he's happy
and a couple of one-day
with that
international.
one.
So he will be looking to
Is
cement
that
that
the
place.
First six, yes,
as
the
we
first
go
six
forward,
for Sean Williams. We
with
saw a
him, we've
couple
also
of
got
mighty
register
ones
cover,
from Peter Moore earlier on.
and some guys that are not on this
Dancing
tour.
down the track.
You know,
and
there's
a nice little
Tinashe
heave
Kamukangwe, who's also played a couple of
long gone,
internationals.
6 handsome runs.
Kevin Kasuza, who's been in the franchise setup for a while.
Starting to get a move along here.
You know,
Sean
we've
Williams,
also got a
who's a 20
young
of
Fadzwa
19.
Tiga, who's shown some promise. So I'm sure the selectors will be looking at those guys and
Tino
you
was
know, looking to
mentioning
fill
this in the
those
previous
shoes going
game. You
forward.
don't often see Sean stay out of form for a long time. He didn't have the best outing in Bangladesh. He missed out on his
That'll be called wide
first opportunity
from
here
Neville
in
Madiba.
Singapore as well.
He is one who normally uses
And he
the
came back in
no
typical
ball
Sean
bouncer,
Williams fashion
especially
in the last game.
at this
There's
stage
that man
of
again, Sandeep
the
Lamachani, who
inning
got him
towards
in
the
that
end.
first game. Duck.
This time
Nothing shot really by the
a
captain.
little bit
but
too short.
now he's taking a lot more responsibility
Umpire
now,
calling that wide.
building an innings and be more cautious.
And Stewie, there's been talk of Zimbabwe cricket
Goes
wanting
again.
to get as much cricket as they can for the team. Sometimes
Just the single though
dry
on this
periods of
occasion.
months without
Didn't quite
international
make the
cricket.
contact that he did on
How important
that
is a
occasion
series
when he
like
hit
this
that 6.
for
Just the single.
one, the amount of game
Glad
time
that it
the
didn't go
players
down
can
the
have
throat of
and
long
letting
on.
these young new
Looked like it was going straight down the
batsmen
ground for
into
another
the team,
6, just for a
getting them
little bit.
performing at international level.
It's good to see.
Without a doubt, you know, it is very
Conditions.
important for us to be
rather
out and playing
nice
cricket
and
as much as
pleasant
possible.
today.
You will find, if you look back in
We had to wait a
in
little
the last
bit.
couple of years, you will find that we always kind of pick up during towards the back end of the season. As it were. So, you know, if we get the guys playing consistent cricket, you won't have to be doing catch up during series. And things like that, and also obviously without
Very interesting
without
to
a
see
doubt, just
what
gaining a lot more experience
Zimbabwe end
for
up with.
especially the younger guys.
We saw
It's
180
golden.
being scored in the
So
previous game, and that
I'm sure Zimbabwe cricket will be doing
almost
all they
wasn't
can to
enough.
make sure that the guys are playing
Seems to be
a lot.
different story.
Right, it's the end of the 16th over. Nepal
Probably around the
94
150
for
mark,
5.
yeah.
And that was 180 and just 18 overs, so a lot more to come here, particularly from these two out in the middle. And in the 10th over, Zimbabwe 72 for 3.
Sean Williams to continue. Oh, nicely bowled. Bit of turn
Back
and
live
bounce.
with live pitches.
117.
Game number 4 of the Singapore Tri-Nations T20I.
3.1 overs.
You can catch live action on multiple
We've had the pleasure over the last couple of overs of having Stuart Mansukineti, the Zimbabwe batting coach, with us in the commentary box.
Cricket Association handle on Facebook.
Stewie, one more question for you before you go. What do you feel you're happy chasing on the
For
surface?
the very first time I changed in the commentary box, I'm going to have Joel De Silva from Sri Lanka.
Yeah, good question. You know, we weren't sure. Obviously, we haven't played here, but looking at the wicket, we definitely thought there would be a lot more runs than what is on the board at the moment. But it does seem to be taking a lot of turn. So we would have been happy chasing something around the 140 region.
All right, Stewie, all the best, and we'll hopefully have a bit more of you in the commentary box as the tournament progresses.
Yes, thanks, Gino.
And as Stewie goes, 6 wicket falls for Nepal.
In that first game in helping Nepal
Irie was in top form, 40 from 32 for him.
That effort went in vain.
Nepal now reduced to 95 for 6.
Saw some ordinary shots being played against him today as well. But that one against Peter Moore was one beautiful delivery.
They needed the set batsman to be in the centre right up till the very end. Defending Irie getting out pretty much
correct pace
at exactly the wrong time.
And we're
40
using the
valuable runs of
regulation
just
here.
32 deliveries.
That's going to give a bit of purchase.